and Newcastle advance to the next round. Obviously, we knew that was going to happen pretty much from the kickoff, given what occurred in the first leg. We're thinking, well, what can we discuss from this game? Once again, Craig, we see Woltemade not playing as a striker.
He's utilising...
And I know it's only Qarabag, but this isn't the first time. He did it against Villa and he did it against City as well.
Yeah, he's got this thing in his head at the moment that he's going to play Woltemade a little deeper. I don't know. Sounds a bit strange to me. I mean, he's got good feet for a big guy. To be fair, to come short and get top. The guy's actually got.
Not good enough.
No, but
not good enough.
So what's he doing, Steve?
I don't know what the
I have
reason
no
is.
idea what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know. He's probably played every single time they've played away from home, right? Generally, when they're at home, he's played up high, but definitely away from home, he's been playing in this role, and he's not good enough to play there.
Do you know why
he doesn't move the ball. He doesn't move the ball quick enough.
Do you know
he doesn't see things early enough. He's not good enough to play there. I'm sorry.
I agree, but it's not his fault. He's a striker, and actually he's had a pretty good start to his Newcastle career as a striker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he came in and he won a few fans over, scored a few goals, and yeah, he scored the own goal in the North East derby. But these things happen. But I think one of the things that Eddie Howe has in his head, and he didn't play tonight, is that, and Stevie mentioned particularly the away games, is that he seems to like Anthony Gordon's pace through the middle. And he's a wide player, but he's played him through the middle because he likes his pace to run in behind the defence and the centre-halves. And that means you either leave Woltemade out or you play him a little bit deeper. And that's what he's done. And I think that's detrimental to the German. But I think ultimately that's what Eddie Howe has in his mind at the moment, is that, you know, when he's going to these away games and teams are putting Newcastle under pressure, particularly in the Champions League, he's gone for a pacey player up front so they have an out ball in behind, which Woltemade's not. You know, he's a guy that you can play the ball up to and hold. So they've brought a player in to replace Alexander Isak. It's not a like for like, but they brought a striker for a striker, and now he's decided in some of the games he's going to go a different way with a different player. And that is one of the reasons I think that Woltemade has ended up dropping a little bit deeper.
Jurgen, do you see Eddie Howe's thinking here, or do you agree with Stevie, this is not his place to be?
Yeah, I mean, my feeling is it's not his place to be for Woltemade. I see him clearly as a pure number 9, traditional number 9, you know, holding up the place, as Greg says, and the ball, and then play with everybody else around him. He's trying this out right now, Eddie Howe, and the kid will not complain. He will do whatever the coach tells him to do, but it's not ideal for him because obviously his big dream is going to the World Cup this summer for Germany. He started really well with Newcastle. He got a lot of positive comments from everywhere. And so I hope, you know, it kind of doesn't put him down in some way. I see here maybe they approach a little bit with him dropping back into midfield to help out in a 4-5-1 formation. So he helps out his midfield as an additional player. But obviously his qualities are up front. His qualities are in the box. You know, he smells the ball. He knows where it comes. He's strong in the air. Obviously, he's a very, very tall kid. And that's where his qualities are. So it needs to be seen now the next couple of weeks how he utilizes him.
So who will Newcastle face in the next round? Let's just remind you who they could possibly take on. It will be Barcelona or Chelsea, depending on the luck of the draw.
I think they'd take Chelsea all day, wouldn't they?
Is Chelsea kind of better the devil you know, Frank?
Yeah, but you don't want to play against a domestic team in the Champions League. I hated that, and I never liked watching that, like Monaco against Paris Saint-Germain. You want to see something, you know, different. It's what I want to see Newcastle against Barcelona. And that's my wish. It didn't work that well. I think it was last year, for Newcastle. But yeah, I don't want to see Chelsea playing against Newcastle. It's too much Premier League. We know that. We've seen that. We don't want to see that in Champions League.
No, they played this year. It's this year, Frank.
Yeah.
They played at St James's
This year,
Park.
exactly.
Yeah, they played
this year.
So they played at St James's Park, and Newcastle made a really good fist of it, I think, if memory serves me right, for 45 minutes. A lot of energy, a lot of pressing. And then, and both those players haven't been fit recently, but Pedri and De Jong took the game by the scruff of the neck, and then Barcelona dominated. And that's the sort of position that they're in. Chelsea, they know. okay, that's Chelsea are a stronger side. But then, even though Chelsea have beaten Barcelona this year at the Bridge, we know if Barcelona get the defensive aspect of their crazy high line right, which sometimes they do, a lot of times they don't, the other side of their game could end up being like a Qarabag.
Yeah.
You know, could be 4 or 5 or 6 after the first leg. That's how good they can be going forward. I just feel if they played Chelsea, I think they could keep it a little tighter. They don't have to worry about Ferran Torres, don't have to worry about Lamine Yamal, don't have to worry about Rafinha, Fermin Lopez, Dani Olmo. All these players that could just destroy you. They've seen that movie before at St James's Park. And when Barcelona upped the gears in that game, it was just a little bit too much for Newcastle.
Another stupid question.
Yep.
If it's not a player your dream to go and play at stadiums like the Camp Nou, and this could be your one chance, so as a player, are you still rooting for the quote-unquote easier side in Chelsea?
100%.
You could play at the Camp Nou, Stevie.
No. It's fun to dream and you think about it and you'd love to win it. The Camp Nou and beating Barcelona. But at the end of the day, you want to win.
Right.
And you'd rather play against a side that you think you can beat as opposed to a side you're not quite sure, but you also know you could get blasted out of the water. So, no, I'm with Craig entirely. I'm taking Chelsea.
And the Camp Nou is not finished, so what's the point, you know?
Well, there's only one bit of the stadium's not there. All right, Frank.
Well, I'm hearing
Frankie, what he did is exactly what he does. Well done, sir.
I'm hearing Chelsea fans shouting, though, you know. We beat them 3-0.
Yes.
What do you mean Barca's an easier game? But that was a really good night from Chelsea.
Yeah, it was one of Barca's rotters, which we know they can serve up as well.
Don't take one game as a big...
Jurgen, what about the dream of the Camp Nou?
He's not finished.
That's the only one where you want to go. You got to go to the Camp Nou and beat them there.
Yes.
You know, this is what football is all about.
Yes.
You wanna,
God.
Yeah,
you
from a World Cup winner that contributed throughout the tournament. Thank you very much, Jurgen.
And you're with your back to the wall and you beat them.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. One more game to reflect on. Nothing happened. Bayer Leverkusen taking on Olympiacos. Bayer Leverkusen.
What did happen in that game? I think we switched the telly off.
Nothing. That sums it up. Both had a shot on target, and no expected goals both below 1. Of course, it's Bayer Leverkusen who then advance to the next round. Well, they'll face either Jurgen, Arsenal, or Bayern Munich.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. I mean, if you're Leverkusen, you want Arsenal, then
yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, you would want Arsenal?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to have Arsenal there. Yeah, if I'm Leverkusen.
Why?
I mean, you know Bayern Munich inside out, and there's no surprise to anything, but you can make a big surprise, a big splash, obviously, by beating Arsenal, you know, who's the number 1 team in the Champions League so far. So I would definitely want Arsenal.
Frank, what do you want?
Again, for the same reason that before, I don't want to see the Bundesliga game, so I prefer to play against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because I know Bayern Munich, in terms of stadium, because you like, stadiums, I don't know which one is the best. But I think, you want to confront the best, well, not the best team, but the most interesting team, and you want to play a Champions League game. So you want to go to the Emirates and play Arsenal.
Doesn't matter. They're screwed whatever team they get. Well, let's not beat about the bush. They're screwed.
Yeah, no, I think that is fair enough. Of course, it is a big weekend in the Bundesliga as we see the classic Bayern taking on Borussia Dortmund. That game is at 11:30 on ESPN+. You can watch that in your home, or if you're on the West Coast, you can make your way to Tom's Watch Bar and join Jurgen, Ali and Kay, who will be hosting Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. Just click on the QR code, that'll give you information how to register. That coverage starts at 9:30 on ESPN+.